Hey everybody, Arturo Johnson here, and I just got off a phenomenal coaching call with some of my best clients, and I want to share a little bit of behind the scenes with you guys so that you can take a look and see some of the things that we're talking about at a high level at this phenomenal group. And in this video, what I want you to take away from this is I want you to, if you've been following us for a little bit, I just want you to picture yourself being in this room, adding to this discussion here. And there's just three things that we kind of talk about in this on this coaching call. And the first one is how to become more profitable as a life insurance agent. And we really go into depth on this because a lot of times life insurance agents, they don't really focus on this. They just focus on revenue and they don't focus on their bottom line. So you'll see some agents writing 30, 40, 50K per month. But what you don't realize is that they're spending 20, 30, 40,000 per month. And so they're only netting 8 to 10K per month. And so we don't want you to be fooled by those numbers. And then the second thing is we discuss in depth how to do 15 appointments per day. There's an exact science behind this. And so in this video, you're going to see exactly how my client, Kevin Alexander, does it. Hall of Fame producer, writing between 50 and 100K every single month on autopilot. And so he's going to break that down for you. And then the last thing is we're going to really go into depth. One of the newest members of our mastermind, Jerry, he's going to talk about how to prevent chargebacks. And this is really important because a lot of times you'll see numbers on the leaderboard where a lot of clients are writing a bunch of premium, but that next month you'll see that roll up coming, that chargeback, and you'll get that email. And that's a game changer for some of us. Some of us, we can't afford for that to happen. And then some of us, it takes some of the wins out of our sales. And then we just stop believing. And so we're going to show you how to prevent those chargebacks. We're also going to show you how to do 15 appointments per day, how that's done, not just from me telling you, it's going to be from some of our most successful clients in the trenches doing it themselves. And we're going to show you how to become more profitable as a life insurance agent. Hope you enjoyed this video. Take care. But Jerry, my man, I hadn't really met you. So if you wouldn't mind unmuting yourself and just kind of, let's just talk for a second,
Yeah,
how's it
man.
going?
Dude, I'm blessed, man. I'm out here in Austin, Texas. So just looking at you know, learn about the program, dude, and I'm super excited about just getting to work. So the whole transition for me in the business. I've been a face-to-face agent for over a year and a half, well, not even close to a year and a half. So I've been fighting the whole telesale world just because I love the face-to-face vibe, but I listened to Kevin's deal about fighting it himself, and you could fight with your sisters or you could join the movement. So I joined the movement.
Yeah, totally. So let's just talk about your success in the beginning because I'm interested to hear about this. So, what have you been able to accomplish? How long you been in the business? Obviously, if you talk to Kevin, probably with FFL, I'm not sure, but probably. And then, some people don't get the face to face to work, and you've got that to work. So, how have you been able to have success?
Dude, so I've been on the FFL platform for over a year now. Vice president of Family First Life Destiny, which is great, cool, it's all fine and dandy. I fell short of my goal last year. A lot of BS, just excuses that I needed to get past. So
What was the
my
goal?
goal, Hall of Fame. So Hall of Fame was my goal, 400K. I did 275. Never been in the life insurance business. It was all CRM leads provided at the time. I was on the phone for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Drove probably 25,000 miles or something ridiculous. Overall, though, had success. I mean, was able to build a business. Team did about 1.2 million. So nothing to brag about, but I mean, felt pretty comfortable with it. So
Well,
this
it
year the
is
goal
because
is,
some people would kill to have what you have, you know what I mean? So it is something to brag about. So, you can brag a little bit, you have worked your ass off to get there. So it ain't like, you just woke up and hit those numbers. So, it is a
no,
little
dude.
bit.
I mean, it's a grind. So two of my best friends in the business are Eric Kamadi and Ron Miller, and I share an office with them, and both of them are just doing big things in the FFL platform. So um, I'm just trying to catch up, bro. Like
Yeah,
that's
for
it.
sure.
Like I can't keep doing the same thing. I want to find a system that it's there's no easy system, right? There's no easy work. You got to work
Right.
really hard. So I want to work smarter and harder. So
Yeah.
you don't have to pick one or the other. You could do both. And I think once people figure out that equation, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, for sure. And you're right. You get what you deserve in this business. It's a really hard business, but it's also very rewarding. And so I always talk about, this is a consistency and persistency business, right? And so you get through those things, then you're on the right track. But yeah, in regards to like growing your business, profit is a lot important. I know we talk about like AP and stuff; those numbers get thrown up on a leaderboard, but a lot of life insurance agents don't talk about profitability, right? Where you
100%.
could be writing 50K per month, or you could be writing that, but you're not bringing that home. You're still only making 10K. So even so, there's a lot of things in there in regards to ROI on how much Kevin spends, how much he writes, and how much stays in his pocket, which is that because that's the cash flow. Cash flow is really the lifeblood of the business. And so you want to increase that. And if you're doing face to face, there's a couple bottlenecks that were already there, but then there's a new one, right? Gas, right? That starts to cut into your bottom line driving like that. I don't know how much gas is in Austin, but it was $4 when I filled up this morning, where it's usually like 43 for my little car, and it was like $80. I was like, oh, okay. So I kind of felt that. And I usually don't look at the pump. I just put the card in and kind of roll. But you stand there long enough and it's still going, and you're like, man, usually, all right, I'm ready to go, and it's done. And you look up and you're like 60, 70, like, wait a minute. So that's a cost that goes into profit. And then just not being able to do as many appointments as Kevin can do in a day is the thing that you realize.
That's it, dude. You hit the nail on the head. So for me, right, I got into this business. So my why is my kid, right? I have almost a 2-year-old, and that's my biggest why in the world. She was a blessing, miracle child. We had some fertility things going on, but my purpose is to help people. So I think those two things are aligned for me. So, dude, I'm just, there has to be a better way to do it. So I'm gonna freaking do it. So whatever it takes. And I've been, I won't even lie to you guys. Like I've had some leads starting to come in, and I'm organized. Like I'm going all in to the point of like, hey, like I had an office space. I never used office space. I was like, I'm getting rid of this thing. Like I'm face to face. So now I'm like, hey, I'm all in. Like let's get my office space. Like I'm actually gonna upgrade to a desktop, so I can't take it with me. So I'm always working there, which I like a lot better. Just for like little things I need to do, man, to be successful. But I'm here to be a sponge and learn from the people that have had success. I did the entire training, kind of the getting started training, and I'm already thinking about things for the video. So whatever it takes, dude. I don't know.
For sure.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know anything. So
well, that's the thing, though. You've had some success, so we want to learn from you too. So let's just kind of talk. Let's jump right in. And what are some things that you have done as you can hang your hat on that can hang your hat on with being successful? Like, what are some processes that you do, face to face? Because I mean, the principles are the same, right? You still got to get up, got to go to work, you got to, call some people, you got to, have some conviction, and then you got to lead some people to take an action sometime. So, what are some of those things that you hang your hat on for you?
Yeah, dude. So when I first started, guys, like I'm excited to meet everybody's story. I'm planning on coming out to Nashville so I can meet more people face to face. But here's the thing. So it was funny, dude. We're spending all this money on client acquisition, and you're 100% right. I think that when you recruit people, and this is a big pet peeve of mine now, but you're just kind of telling everybody that they can do this, and that is not true. That is far from the truth, right? And you see these huge numbers, right? But you don't understand how much are people actually really putting in their pocket, right? Because the ROI has to be there. So I learned that very quickly in this business, and I learned the roll-up thing in this business pretty quickly too, right? As you build teams and you invite people that maybe aren't ready, they saw a little bit, and then before you know, you got $8,000 rolling up to you. So for me, my biggest purpose is intentionality. When I bring people on board, I want to get to have a big agency, but I don't want to do it with people that are not ethical and are not hard workers. So everybody I bring on board, I ask them, hey, are you a person of integrity? Are you going to do what you say you're going to do? Are you a person that really generally cares about human beings and wants to actually put them in a better place and not worry about what bonus or what career pays you more? And are you okay hearing the word no over and over and over, right? There are some things there. So for me, dude, like client retention has been a big piece of what I focused on. I realized in the beginning I was getting chargebacks and I didn't understand what those were. My chargebacks are minimal now, if at all. Most of my chargebacks are like, I'm probably about 10% chargebacks right now through all the companies that I do. And that's because I have a I use my CRM. It's all automated. So like, I meet with Arturo, I get his stuff set up. Hey Arturo, congratulations, boom, right? So like a whole little spiel, breaks down your account, breaks down your premium per month and what day it's coming out, right? So on this one, H&A, wow, crazy. So so that's a big component, right? Follow up with clients. We lose a lot of clients along the way because we're not following up with them. Like, it's funny, you meet with somebody's like, hey, who's your agent? Oh, I don't know, I forgot his name. I'm like, man, he or she left a lasting impression. That should never be the case.
Yeah.
Thank you note that you get like, hey, here's an update about my family. I wish your family's doing well. Like, you can get a system called Mailbox Power, right? By the way, many people don't use this. It's magical. Automates all of your thank you cards, and you can put a drip campaign together.
Okay, so hold on. Let's stop there because this, like, he's preaching to y'all right quick, and this is some things that as I'm going through some of the stuff that I learned. So it's kind of like if you booked out appointments and you got 10, and you're at like appointment number 8 and you're running behind. It's easier to tell that person, hey, can you move it back a little bit because they've already committed to an appointment. The same thing with some of your clients, right? We keep going after new business where that yes is more difficult for the new person than it is for somebody that's already said yes and build trust, where you're just like, hey, I just want to check in on your policy. Has anything changed? So much business is written there. Birthdays, age changes, all of these things. It just gives you another reason because you just kind of dig around. Was like, oh, such and such passed away, and I just got this lump sum inheritance, and I don't know what to do with it. I mean, it, obviously it's a process, and that process requires some work. But man, there's a lot in there that agents are kind of leaving out there, and then somebody runs up behind you and they don't know, and then then you get a chargeback too. So it's kind of like a double whammy where they don't really do it because people don't break up with good relationships. And so even if it was a better deal, but I got a card from you, thank you card, like I remember those things, right? You know what I mean? It's kind of why everybody kind of gets something from me, because I want you to remember me as well doing these calls, that I care and I want to recognize you guys. And so following up with your existing customers is something that I know 80% of agents don't do.
Dude, so what's funny? People don't even have client lists. So like if I go to agents right now in the office, I'm like, hey, like how many clients are on your client list? No idea. Like, how do you get a hold of your clients? Oh, I don't know. And I didn't know. I didn't do that at first because I was like, dude, nobody told me to do that. So I was.
What made you start doing it?
Bro, ownership. So I realized probably 6 months into this business that I was looking at my mentor as like a boss. And I realized, dude, I don't have a boss. Like, I keep giving them tips on their business, but I mean, who cares about their business, right? Like, I mean, I love them and I want to help them, but the best way to help him is focusing on my business, right? So I'm like, I have to have ownership of my people, because what if I want to start doing a 6-month or a year annual review? Where do I get the information to figure it out, right? It's not the carrier's job to send me my client list. It's my job to follow up with those folks. So, recently I really kind of just went all in and automated everything. And it's funny, dude, like I have a system now where it's like, if you're in underwriting, it tells you, hey, you're in underwriting. Once we get an approval letter, we send you an approval text and email. And then it's like a thank you card goes out to you, right? And then, and I mean, depending on premium, it could be like whatever, brownies, whatever you want to send them, right? And then from there, it's like, hey, this is my assistant. She's going to follow up with you. My assistant follows up with an automated text. 10 days later, we follow up again, say, hey, we just want to make sure you got your policy in the mail. Any questions about it? We'll set up a call if you have questions, right? And every time they get that policy like question, like, hey, did you get this thing? Their mind is blown. They're like, well, I've never had anybody follow up with me to see the policy came through. And if it's not through, we're going to call the carrier right away, right? I have an assistant that will call the carrier and take care of that. And then they're like, we're doing a drip campaign on them through the thank you card system, saying, hey, man, Arturo, thanks so much, bro, for being our client. Here's a picture of my family and thankfulness. Then we'll hit them up with like a referral thing, like, hey, Arturo, you've been a client with us for 3 months now. I know that this is super important for you and your family. Click the link below if you believe that. I'm not taking a lot of clients right now because I've been so bombarded with so many of them, but since you're already a client of mine, I'm going to prioritize your family and friends. So put any information of the people you think I should follow up with next. And it's just a form they fill out, sends me the information, and then you're getting the best lead source in the world, right, which is a referral.
Gotcha. And so this stuff right here is because I know when I was a young agent, like somebody was saying this, it would just go over my head. And I'm like, dude, I just need to make another sale. But as you start to grow a business, you got to think like a business owner, right? It's like, think about it like if you receive something, right? It's like a surprise. It's like when an Amazon box comes to the door, it's like, wow, it's kind of exciting thing. And these things help you with retention because a lot of agents are putting on a lot of business, but it's also coming off on the back end the next month, right? You write 20 to 50K and you're on the leaderboard, but then that next month, some stuff's coming back because we've all had it happen to us, right? And so the upside is important, but the downside is as well. And you can do this with some of these strategies that he's talking about. So let's talk about how it has helped, because it's like we got the strategy, but what effect has this had on your business?
Retention, dude. So client retention is massive. So we work really hard to get clients. My biggest fear going in, and this is, probably help I need going all online, is that I won't have the same relationship with my client. But then I've realized, hey, dude, like with all the systems that I now have in place and with technology the way that it is, right? I can send them a thank you note. I can pre-record a video that's my face, my deal, that gets sent to their text, their thing. Hey, once they get approved or whatever, hey, congratulations, guys. Like, I know we didn't get an opportunity to meet face to face, but in this new era, like we are next to each other at all times. You're not part of our insurance family. Anything you need whatsoever, just reach out to me, right? You send that 30-second video. Sometimes when I can't get a client to reach out to me, dude, or they no-show me or something, I'll send a video and I'll say, hey, I'm outside of your house right here. Like, where are you at? Right. And then they always respond.
Yeah.
Now I won't be outside of their house anymore. So for me, dude, the biggest thing has been just my quality of the clients I'm talking to. It's funny, guys. I'm sitting here literally talking to you guys and a lead just came in. Shout out to Jack and the family for that. And I send them an automated message because I'm not using Calendly. I'm using the CRM here, right? And I automated a message I guess sent out to them. Hey, my name is Jerry. I'm super excited to meet with you. He pre-booked the appointment. He already messaged me back like, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure that client is not. I mean, he may no show me, but like now I have we start a relationship by just him pre-booking an appointment from an amazing ad you guys created. So
for sure. And so you said some things in there that were very important. So number one, people don't break up with good relationships because somebody's always trying to take something from them. And when you offer something to give, even the slightest thing, they'll notice it because everybody else isn't doing that. But then the second thing, the face-to-face thing, you might not be able to do it, but let's be honest. Some people don't want to do anything face-to-face. So me personally, I'm introverted. Just let me do it online, right? Instead of like having to come over. No. It's all good. Just give me the link. Let me do it. I've got it. But also it's more opportunity. You can email them, right? You can send them a text message, right? You can send them a video message on Facebook. There's so many other ways to get your message to people in multiple ways that it'll be delivered, as opposed to trying to one time to go into place and what if they're not there or something, right? Or if they're in a bad mood, right? Because if you leave it in these places, people will open it when they're looking for things, right? When they're open to it. And that's the thing, is that it's there for them, to where you're knocking on their digital door and you just leave it there. And then when they want to see it, when they're in the mood for it, it's there for them. And they're like, oh crap, and it's also a pleasant surprise. So there's a way to leverage a lot of these things. And so that's pretty cool. So the retention part is very powerful. It seems like you're very passionate about that. What was there an instance where it just kind of shifted? I know you wanted to take ownership. Was there like a moment where you like had a roll up month or something, or like what was the thing that what was the catalyst to you really starting to focus on this stuff?
Dude, I was being a hypocrite. So I was sitting in people's living rooms and I'd be like, hey, Kev, man, I'm going to be your agent for life, bro. Anything you need, I'm going to be here to help you. And then I would get so busy trying to get new clients and acquire new clients because I needed more money that I forgot about Kevin. I'm not going to lie. Like life happened and all of a sudden it was 6 months and then Kevin's like sending me a cancellation note. And I'm like, dude, I would get upset, but then I'm like, dude, I can't even blame him. I hadn't talked to him in, 5.5 months since I was at his house. And like, what kind of agent am I? Like, that's not like, this is not a vacuum cleaner sale business. It's a relationship business, right? You got to sell, like a lot of my agents, especially with the carriers that we have, they focus on, well, this is the cheapest. I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter what the cheapest. They don't care. They really don't care about it. They care about what's the most value and what comes from buying from you, right? So this is what you're going to get. And if I wasn't providing that, then I was just lying to them. And that's not the kind of business I want to run.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you just looked at the mirror. That's pretty much what you did, right? Perfect. Taking full responsibility of it. And yeah, because the cool thing I like about that is because when you take full responsibility for it, like even if it wasn't your fault, like you can affect the outcome of it going forward in the future, right? Because the way that it will change is when you change, right? Because if you wait on
Yeah.
someone else or something else to change, then your circumstances, you're kind of snookered. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So let's kind of transition into some sales stuff, right? So what are a couple things that you try to make sure that you cover when speaking with prospects, when you're in a situation where you're talking about helping protect families?
My number one thing is figuring out their why. So, when I sit down or talk to them on the phone or whatever, hey, what made you want to click on this? What made you intrigued, right? Like, let's figure out what their why is, because sales is just providing a solution to a problem. Like, who cares about it? What product you're selling? It's just a solution to a problem. So, I figure out their why, and then I go through and I just kind of really honestly listen to them, genuinely care about them, fill out all their information, and then at the end, it's like, I always go kind of 3 steps. Hey, my number one step is making sure that whatever we go through comfortably fits your budget, not just today, but in December during the crazy holidays, right? That you understand how this product works, and I control those two because that's my job. The third one is the carrier accepting you, and that's where I go to bat for you. Okay, but we won't know that until we submit an application, kind of a deal, right? So that's a really, really big one for me. Just kind of figuring out the why. And then just kind of transitioning through, like, I mean, this is a rocket science, right? It's like, hey, okay, I want to cover people buy insurance for 3 reasons, right? Burial costs, some sort of big loan or mortgage or whatever, and then legacy. So what are they doing it for, right? And then figuring that out and getting through the health conditions and just being very truthful with them, dude. So, I mean, I sat with a client this morning and I already had a pre-scheduled appointment before I even joined the program. I met with both the wife and the husband today, and he had a toe amputated because of diabetes. That immediately becomes like a big no-no for a lot of immediate coverage, right? So it's just like, hey, being super honest with them and letting them go through those steps. So,
Gotcha. And so you started with the why, though. Getting there why. So you want to make sure that you get that. Why is that important?
Dude, because what am I gonna like? I don't have a presentation. Like, hey, Arturo, what's your why? What made you want to click on that ad? Got it. Oh, it's because you want to make sure that your kids are not burdened when you pass away, right? And then that opens up a can of worms of questions I can ask, right? So there's no need to, like, I don't want to ever get to the end of the presentation and say I need to think about it, right? Because then I did a bad job talking to that family. So it's like, okay, you want to make sure your kids aren't burdened. Okay, so if you pass away today, God forbid, knock on wood, what would happen to you? Like, how would your kids be protected? Will you be burdening your children? Yes, no. Or I have, crypto. The guy literally told me, oh, I have crypto. I'm like, okay, man, that's amazing. And I'm sure like you love the, bipolar effects of crypto, right? Up and down, up and down. Like, you probably don't look at it every day. And if he does, he says, yes, I do, man. Well, your heart rate must be pretty bad. So we really got to hurry up and do this, right? It's pretty crazy. So, but you got to liquefy your crypto, right? And that's not overnight. So we got to make sure that we can. So now it's just a conversation.
Gotcha.
So if I know what the purpose is, dude, then I know where to take it. And also having realistic expectations, because you meet with a 75-year-old that wants $300,000 dollars to cover their entire mortgage, and I'll tell them, hey, that's amazing, I can definitely do that for you. Now, do you have a two, 3, 4, 5,000 laying around each month, right? And they're like, what do you mean? And then we just kind of have a conversation. So I've always just done that, right? I mean, there's important trigger questions that you have to ask, making sure that people know that, but always assume the sale, right?
Yeah, for sure. Awesome, man. Well, yeah, is this helpful to you guys? This good information? Y'all finding good feedback from this? Perfect. So with that, I guess I can do last call for questions or comments, and then we can wrap this one up. Awesome. Well, hey guys, thank y'all so much for spending 45 minutes with me today. I know it's about time's valuable, so I would definitely appreciate it. And this will conclude the Rainmaker call. I mean, the AUM call, the Agent Accelerator call for 420. All right, y'all take care.